Hello everyone, welcome back to the new video of AP Knowledge Point. May 1999. India now knows the truth. This was not the work of a few infiltrators. Across the mountains of Dras, Kaksar, Mushko, and Batalik, enemy soldiers had occupied commanding heights overlooking India's lifeline National Highway 1. Every convoy carrying food, fuel, ammunition, and reinforcements to Ladakh was now under observation. The nation faced a difficult question. How do you defeat an enemy who is already standing thousands of feet above you? Military experts around the world believed the operation would be one of the most difficult mountain campaigns of the modern era. But retreat was never an option. India was preparing to fight for every inch of its territory. A nation mobilizes. As the scale of the intrusion became clear, military headquarters moved into action. Orders traveled across the country. Infantry battalions were redirected towards Ladakh. Artillery regiments began their long journey north. Engineering units prepared roads and bridges for continuous military movement. Medical teams established advanced field hospitals. Convoys of olive green military trucks stretched for kilometers on the highways leading to Kashmir. For many young soldiers, this was the moment they realized they were heading into a real war. Families watched silently as trains and military vehicles carried thousands of troops towards the Himalayas. No one knew how long the conflict would last. Operation Vijay begins. The Indian government officially launched Operation Vijay. Its objective was clear: contain the intrusion, evict the enemy, restore every occupied Indian position. The mission sounded simple. The reality was anything but. Unlike conventional wars fought across open ground, every objective in Kargil stood on a mountain peak. Every attack meant climbing uphill under enemy observation. The defenders enjoyed the advantage of height, prepared bunkers, and clear fields of fire. For the attacking soldiers, every meter gained would come at a tremendous cost. The decision that earned global respect. As military operations intensified, India made a decision that surprised many observers. The armed forces were instructed not to cross the line of control. From a purely military perspective, crossing the LOC might have opened additional routes to pressure enemy positions. But India chose restraint. The government wanted the world to see that its objective was not to capture foreign territory. Its goal was to remove the intruders from Indian land. This decision strengthened India's diplomatic position and earned widespread international respect. The war would be fought within India's side of the line of control, no matter how difficult that made the mission. When the sky joined the battle, as fighting intensified, it became clear that the army needed support from the air. On 26 May 1999, the Indian Air Force launched Operation Safed Sagar. For the first time, combat aircraft were employed in such extreme high altitude conditions. Pilots had to fly through narrow valleys surrounded by towering mountains. Enemy positions were hidden among rocks and snow. Bombing accurately at those heights demanded extraordinary skill. Mirage 2000 aircraft later played a crucial role in striking fortified enemy positions with precision. The battlefield was no longer limited to the mountains. The sky itself had become part of the war. Strength at the sea. Although the fighting was taking place hundreds of kilometers away in the Himalayas, the Indian Navy also entered the conflict. Warships moved into the Arabian Sea. This deployment sent a clear strategic message. If the conflict expanded, India was prepared to respond across land, air, and sea. The coordinated action of the Army, Air Force, and Navy demonstrated India's ability to apply pressure across multiple domains. The mountain that refused to fall. Even with thousands of troops, powerful artillery, and air support, one challenge remained: the mountains. Capturing a mountain is unlike capturing a city. There are no streets, no buildings for cover, only exposed rock faces. Every attacking soldier climbs upward while the defender fires downward. The enemy can observe every movement. Machine guns dominate narrow approaches. Mortars strike predictable climbing routes. And the thin mountain air drains the strength of even the fittest soldier. Military planners understood that victory would require more than courage. It would require patience, planning, and extraordinary teamwork. Their first major objective was a peak overlooking the Dras sector. Its name was Tololing. Many believed it was impossible to capture. The orders had been issued, the soldiers were ready. The artillery was in position. High above them, enemy bunkers waited. The Battle of Tololing was about to begin. The Kargil War was not won in a single battle. It was won through countless acts of courage, one mountain at a time. But the hardest battles are still ahead. In the next episode, we will see icy slopes of Tololing, where young Indian soldiers face enemy fire from impossible heights. It was the battle that proved India could fight back and win. If you don't want to miss that incredible story, subscribe to AP Knowledge Point and turn on the notification bell. Always remember the nation sleeps peacefully because someone stands awake on the frontier. Jai Hind.